Looking for a way to unlock the full potential of your digital dentistry workflow? I'm Elise Hifko, Associate Manager of Digital Services with Ivoclar. I'm excited to introduce you to CAM Academy, Ivoclar's new in-person training experience designed specifically for dental technicians. This hands-on course explores the full potential of programmable CAM software, helping you take your digital workflow to the next level. Learn directly from Ivoclar experts, refine your skills, and bring new precision and efficiency to your lab. CAM Academy is more than a course. It's your next step in digital excellence. To reserve your spot, visit the Ivoclar Academy website or contact your local Ivoclar sales representative today.
Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 388 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name's Barbara. What's up?
That is the saddest what's up I've ever
know.
heard.
I was going to say that's my serious tone. Well, you woke me up early on a Saturday morning, and so yeah. Just kidding.
So everyone else has to suffer?
What's happening, Elvis?
There she is. So we had a recording yesterday, and you told me you're slammed. You couldn't get away. What is this, little end of the month fun, or?
It was, I don't know. There was like 2 10-unit bridges, lower, just a lot of work. Yes, pretty much. I'm so sorry about that, but
it's all
I
good.
Appreciated it because I wasn't there until 9 o'clock last night, so I was able to just dig in.
You were there till 9?
No, I said I appreciated us being able to move our podcast because it enabled me to get out of there a little bit more normally than I would have if I had to stop for an hour. So thank you.
Understood.
Life of a dental technician. There you go.
Ain't that the truth?
So it's Labor Day weekend, so everybody's got today off. I hope everybody's doing good and not working.
But listening to the podcast.
Right, because it's Monday, so it's officially a day off, even though it's Saturday.
Yeah, just stop your outside activities. Don't talk to your family and listen.
Yep. Don't barbecue and pool and sun and yay. I love it. There's my perkiness for you.
There you go. So this week, we're going to take us back to last June when the Florida Dental Laboratory Association held their annual Southern State Symposium and Expo.
That was a long time ago.
It seems like it was quite a while ago.
For
those that sat down with me and recorded, we apologize for the long delay in releasing them as we had so much IDS to get through and it took a while. So Thanks for hanging in there.
But it's all thanks to the wonderful and amazing people at Jensen Dental. Yay, Mio. I wasn't there. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the weekend where I left Indiana and flew to Florida, and you left Florida and went to Chicago.
Correct.
I think we high-fived mid-air.
Yeah, that was a little awkward.
You were getting ready for the Cal Lab meeting, and, I think this is a great time to mention, Barb, you're the chair of this 100-year-old meeting starting next year.
Can you believe that? 100 years. I tell you what, I'm super proud. I can't wait. We have the best board and the most amazing group of people that attends that meeting, mostly managers and, owners and just strictly mostly a business meeting. But yeah, it's gonna kick butt again. I can't wait. We're going to do some crazy stuff for our 100 years. Maybe a little bit of champagne one day.
Is that crazy? Champagne?
Yeah, no, and possibly some dancing. We'll see.
Oh.
I can't give too much away.
Oh, yeah? Have you dialed in some good speakers?
Yes. Yeah, we got our keynote speaker talking about change and evolution. We're going to have a panel with some of the older Cal Lab, like Billy Drake and some people that you haven't seen in a minute that were just amazing and a lot of nostalgia.
That's awesome.
100 years is a long time for anybody to be still standing, so we're pretty proud of that.
Is there someone out there that went to that very first meeting? Could we find this person? Oh.
No, but we do have the very first picture from 100 years ago of the very first meeting itself, and it's pretty awesome. So we're going to get it redone, and we're going to have it plastered up on the what am I trying to say? Up on the what
On the
screen?
TV,
Up on
on
the
the
screen.
screen. Yeah, yeah.
Jesus, Barbara.
That's awesome.
It's
I didn't
early.
realize that there was a picture from 100
Yeah.
years ago.
I'll send it to you.
That's awesome. So those that don't know what we're talking about, Cal Lab is that manager meeting that happens right in the same weekend as Lab Day Chicago.
Correct.
cal-lab.org, I believe it is.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, go check it out. Anybody interested, it's a great meeting. And you have to go and support Barb
Thank you, sir.
as the new chair.
And the podcast, because I'm sure we'll be there.
We're all going to make T-shirts and foam fingers and horns. And I'm going to paint a bee on my chest.
We'll be like Joe, and we'll have pictures of my head. Not.
Oh, geez.
Not. All right.
All right. Well, thanks to Jensen Dental. This week, we're starting with a conversation from two pretty young technicians that work at DCS Dental Lab with our good friend Dory.
Nice.
So Savannah Jones was raised in Alaska and started as an assistant before teaching herself exocad and becoming an in-office tech. Gabriel Jimenez was working at Walmart when a buddy he helped get a job got him a job at the lab.
Wow. That's cool.
Now they're both working together, and they talk about getting their roles, learning new things that they never thought they would, and how they're liking their very first dental lab conference.
Then you got to talk to the removable man himself, Mr. Tom Zaleske. Tom was on way back in 2018 on Jesus, episode 16 and 17. I can't believe that.
Isn't
it was
that
like
nuts?
7 years ago. But this time he talks about his journey, what he's been up to, how he's still running a really successful, really movable lab by himself, and what he hopes to see for our profession. Then we wrap up this episode with another past podcast guest, Josh Williams. Josh is the one that is always doing amazing things with printed metal frameworks at GPS Digital RPD. Yeah, I remember him too. He stops by the Jensen dental booth to update us on the world of printing metals, goes over the process a bit more, and how one denture from some patient is now an amazing keychain for fans. So join us as we chat with Savannah Jones, Gabriel Jimenez, Tom Zaleske, and Josh Williams.
Voices from the bench. The interview.
Ooh, we have an audience.
Hello.
It's Dory. Dory.
I'm
It's
going to be careful, Dory. I only say good things about you. Don't worry.
So excited. Wait a minute, that's loud. So excited. We are here at the FDLA, luckily at the Jensen booth. Nina, Miss Jensen herself, leans over to me and says, "You need to have this lady on. She's from Alaska and she speaks well."
Yes. Hi.
What's your name? You don't have a name tag.
I'm Savannah
Savannah
Jones.
Jones. Savannah
Yes.
Jones, and you're joined by
Gabriel Jimenez.
Gabriel Jimenez. How do you guys know each other?
So we actually met. We started working together about a year ago, I want to say.
Yeah, it was about a year because I've been at the lab for roughly a year, almost a year now.
Which
Yeah.
lab?
At DCS Dental Lab. It's located in Jacksonville.
Dory's lab?
Yeah.
We love Dory.
I know. Dory's great.
Yeah,
Dory
she's
is
awesome.
great.
She's the sweetest person alive.
Okay, your name again, I already forgot.
Savannah Jones.
Savannah Jones. Savannah, tell us your story. How did you get to Alaska and become a dental technician?
Okay, so I was actually born and raised in Alaska. I was born and raised in a small town called Kenai. And I went to school to be a dental assistant for a little bit. So I graduated with that, and I started working at a lab.
Can I stop you real quick? This
Yes.
Alaska living, is it
Yes.
what we all think it's like?
Pretty much.
Whale blubber and
Yeah.
Really?
I wouldn't say whale blubber, but I would definitely say, like, you got the four-wheelers, you got the fishing, hiking a ton.
Was there like 3 months of sunlight or
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So-
did have that?
Yeah, but that's up north. It's not where I live.
Oh, okay.
But, like, where I live, it'll be, like, sunny until, like, 1 a.m.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
so that's why,
That's
like, when a lot of
crazy.
people come to visit Alaska, we have to, like, block out the windows so that everybody can sleep,
Sleep?
or else they'll be like, why am I awake so late? And I'm like, yeah, it's because of the sun.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you went to school for dental assisting in
Yes.
Alaska.
Yes.
Became a dental assistant?
Yeah, so technically I have an associate's degree in dental
Okay.
assisting right now, and I started working at my office. I was a dental assistant for about 6 months,
Yeah.
and they had an in-house lab. I had never heard about like dental
Okay.
lab work at all, and so it was completely new to me.
They didn't teach you about it in dental assisting school?
No,
Isn't
they
that
like
so wrong? They don't mention
I
it.
know they talked to me a little bit about it, but like I never really thought about it. I never really thought like how the crowns, where you got the crowns from,
Magically
the night guards,
showed
the dentures,
up.
and everything. Yeah, it did not comprehend in my brain.
Yeah.
So I worked for about 6 months for a dental assistant, and then we had an in-house lab. It was very small, and we had a lab guy. He ended up quitting our office, and so my boss got very stressed out, and he was kind of like, I'm not sure what to do. And so one day I pulled him aside when we were working late, and I said, hey, I'm interested in it. And
Were there not labs in Alaska you could use?
there are some, but he was very like, he wanted to do it on his
Yeah.
own, which is
He
understandable.
already had all the machines.
He
and
had the
thing,
machines and
yeah.
everything like that, so he didn't want to put it to waste.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I don't have enough time to like train because he was busy being a dentist, understandably. And so he was like, you can learn it on your own. He's like, watch these videos online, search it up, and we'll put you through a test run. So that's what I did, is I searched it up all on my own. And I started designing crowns on exocad.
Really?
And
Self-taught, 100%.
Self-taught it. And so I worked on that. We started milling them, and then we would try them out. And the dentist ended up loving it. The patients were happy with it. And so he's like, okay, we're going to switch you to a full-time dental tech.
So what courses did you look for? Was it all like YouTube, or did you like do a paid course, or?
So exocad actually ended up having courses available to me.
Yeah.
So I watched the exocad courses.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
if I didn't have answers, there was a guy that I ended up reaching out to, and he would help me kind of like work on the software in case I had any questions about it. And so he taught me that.
Is this somebody we would know? Somebody you could shout out to?
His name is Alan, I think.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
This weird
Watch
person on
watch
the
me say
internet.
his name wrong. But
No worries.
it's been a long time, and so I don't remember where he was from, but all I
Yeah.
know is my boss was like, here, reach out to this guy. And so I was
Hey.
kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he would jump on the computer and help me out, and he did teach me a lot. And then I ended up having one guy that my boss knew. I don't know, he met him through, I want to say, like a dental conference.
Yeah.
They got in touch, and he was from, I think he was from Korea,
Okay. Yeah.
but right now he works in California.
Yeah.
But he used to live in New Jersey, I do know that. And so he ended up coming down and training me a little while afterwards.
Came
I was
to
working
your
in the lab.
office. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And so he stayed with me for a while, and he helped. That's when we started working with Mio, with the staining and glazing.
Yep.
He started teaching me a lot about that. Did I say that right? by the
Mio?
way? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, watch me say that wrong.
Mayo.
Yeah,
No.
I was nervous for a second.
No, you got it.
But
yeah.
yeah, so that's when he started working with me on staining and glazing. And he started more kind of working really with like the contouring and the anatomy and making sure that I'm getting all that correct, because everything is so like technical and little.
What was easier, learning design or learning Mio?
Honestly, learning Mio
Probably
was a
because you
lot
had somebody
easier for
helping
me.
you.
Yeah.
Because exocad, you're all on your own.
Yeah, and so that was more difficult, but like having the assistant background was a lot
Yeah.
easier because I had gone to school and like learned all the anatomy of the teeth and the structure of the teeth.
Sure.
So that was easy, but it was just like putting it to work on the computer,
Yeah.
which exocad's a great system. I mean, it's super
Oh, it's
user-friendly
amazing,
and
yeah.
everything. So it made it easy, but definitely staining and glazing, it was, Mio's made
Yep.
it very simple for me.
All right, so you're in Alaska.
Yeah.
What the hell you doing here in Florida? There's quite a little move involved.
It's a giant
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah, I needed a change.
Wow.
And so
It's about the most distance change you could do staying in the same country.
it literally is. But yeah, I was like, I need a change. And so I quit my job, packed up all my stuff in my car, and me and my dad drove down to Florida. for fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like your dad decided to get another job too, and off you go?
No, my dad just didn't trust me driving down the Alcan by myself.
Oh, he just drove you down
Yeah.
here, and
And
then
he's-
just left you on the side of the road and been like, "Bye, good luck."
No, well, I do have a little bit of family in Florida. So, like,
Okay.
my dad's grandma lives here, and same with my aunt and my uncle.
So you had some family and
Yeah.
some people to rely on.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
pretty much,
still.
like, we reached out to my grandma and we're like, do you care if I just kind of, like, move in with you to figure out my life? And she was like, yeah, no problem.
Wow.
So my dad did stay with me until, like, I got a job and kind of got settled, which
Yeah.
was nice because he was like, I'm not just going to
What
abandon
was your
you
first
here.
job at Dory's?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so my grandpa he knows Kenny Olson, who now
Okay.
works with him and Dory, kind of combined labs.
Oh, I
A
heard
little
her
bit ago,
talk about
yes.
that. Yeah.
And so my grandpa knew Kenny. So when I was moving down here, my grandma reached out to like some of Kenny's friends and stuff like that and was like, hey, can you let him know that like my granddaughter's coming down here and she used to work in a lab?
And I'm sure Dory was like, I don't know. We don't need anybody. Right.
No, yeah, it was.
Someone with knows what they're doing, hired.
It was crazy though because I was only working in the lab for maybe a year at that point. And again, like,
Year's a
not
long
really.
time,
It
though.
is. It's a long time, but
If
also
you're doing
it's
it all
not.
yourself, I get it. but
Because
yeah.
like I didn't have really a person to sit there, work with me, train me, teach me all the correct techniques and stuff
Yeah.
like that until I had my friend come down from California. And so it was just,
Didn't he come up from California?
oh yeah, up. Yeah, chronic mistake that I make. But
You've been here too long.
I know.
Everything's down to here.
Well, see, when I was living in Alaska, I always said, like, yeah, my friends are coming up. And my parents were always like, Savannah, you mean, like, or, like, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm coming up there. And they're like, no, you're going down there. And so now when I move here, I'm like, okay, so everything's up. So I'm never wrong at this point, which is fantastic.
So Dory brings you in,
Mm-hmm.
and you go right into ceramics.
No, so they actually didn't have an opening. And
I didn't
so
think that was possible.
yeah, well, they like just combined labs,
Yeah.
so like they had a whole new crew and everything like that, and they were just trying
Yeah.
to figure everything out. And so they talked to me, and they're like, yeah, we don't really have an opening for you right now. And so I was like, oh no. Now I have no idea what I'm going to do in Florida. Kind of like no plan. And so I kept talking to Kenny, and he was like, yeah, just like give me a few like days, a few weeks to try to figure something out.
Yeah.
So they ended up kind of making a position for me and putting me in to be like the sanitizer for when all the cases come in. So I would like stamp them, label them, and
I've done
sanitize
that.
them. Yeah. So I was,
Yeah, I've started there, yeah.
yeah. So I basically started out with that
Yeah,
because they were like, we want you in the lab, but they were like, we don't know where to put you.
yeah.
And so they threw me into that. And then from there, I just kind of like, I would walk around. I would talk to like the managers. I would talk to people that I like their work. I
Yeah.
saw that they were great technicians, so I'd walk around with them. I started talking to them. I started asking questions,
Yeah.
and I got thrown into the job that I do now.
Which is?
So I do repairs. I also do flexible cases. I've done night guards as well. And
Wait a
That's-
minute. You're not doing exocad design or anything?
no, actually, it's kind of, I do the complete opposite of what I used to do.
That's
like, I
crazy
only
to
did
me.
crown and bridge back home, and now all I do is denture work.
That
and
is
like,
crazy to
I
me.
am
but-
working on designing dentures right now on exocad,
Yeah.
and then I'm also working on setting teeth
Oh.
and
Yeah.
waxing. And then I've done a little bit of
Interesting.
staining.
And how long have
as
you been there
well.
now?
A year and a half, almost 2
Nice.
years.
Nice.
Yeah.
We didn't forget about you, sir.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, sorry,
It's all
Gabe.
good.
I've
I'm
been kinda
enjoying the
taking over
story.
the podcast.
Yeah. No, so Gabe, you're also at Dory's Lab.
Yes, I
Dory's
am.
Lab have a name.
DCS.
I just call it Dory's Lab. I've known her forever.
I mean,
I met
everybody
her
knows
in
it as Dory's Lab.
2015.
Really?
We met at NADL University.
Wait, what's that?
It's a yearly meeting they have. It's a small group where it's all just like business management.
Okay.
Awesome meeting, but we met there and we've been close ever since.
That's pretty cool.
It's a cool thing. So Gabe, tell me your story.
Well, I actually
Started in Alaska?
No, I did not actually.
Oh.
But I actually work at Walmart, and I met somebody who was in the dental field, and they had just moved down here. So I was like, okay, let me help you find a job.
So you're you're a Walmart associate.
Yep.
Okay.
And
You met this
they-
person at Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
so they had just moved down here to Jacksonville.
Just chatting with the
Yeah,
Walmart guy.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
Talking about teeth.
Yeah, and
I do that all the time.
they were like, dentistry is my passion. I'm like, okay, well, let me help you find something.
Toothbrushes on aisle. No.
Exactly. And so they got a job at a prosthodontist office. And in a couple months, they were like, hey, we need help. You want to come? And I was like, sure.
He came back to the Walmart to find you?
No, because they work there part-time.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. So I would see them, and then they're like, hey, we need help. You want to come over and try something
You
new?
ever ask him why he asked you? Or
They knew that I was kind of looking for something different.
Sure.
I was kind of ready for a change.
Yeah.
So they're like, would you like to join our team? And I was like, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And so
I mean, Walmart's great, but
yeah, exactly. And so I joined their team over there. I was doing front desk work.
Oh, because it was an office.
Yes, it was like an actual office.
Yeah.
But they had an in-house lab. That's when I first actually discovered about dental technology. I didn't even know that it was a thing.
No, yeah.
And so I was like, wow, this is really cool. So in my free time and like on Fridays when they wouldn't see patients, I would work in the lab with the ceramist over there. His name was Ben.
Okay. Doing what?
Huh?
Doing what? Is this here in Florida?
Yeah, this is here in Jacksonville. And as I was talking with Ben, I was like, hey, this is really cool. He would have me do basic stuff. Like I would set margins on Zirconson software and just like set like models to be printed and stuff like that.
It's basic but very necessary.
Yeah.
You're marking margins of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course he would check it.
Yeah, I would hope.
No, he's just letting them all go.
But
call this a Walmart margin.
He had a history at DCS, and he was like, I know somebody who owns a lab. Would you like to consider going over there to actually get your foot in the door? And I was like, yes, that would be great.
Did you not like front desk?
Not really.
Yeah.
It's not my speed.
I couldn't do it either.
But
Jeez.
I went ahead, and he got in contact with Dory, and Dory was like, I'll interview him, and got the interview. And she was like, when do you want to start? And I was like, cool. So
they had a position for you. Just not for you.
Well, what also happened, though, is I was trying to get out of my position because they were trying to move me on. And so they interviewed Gabe to take over my position.
So then I started doing the sanitizing.
That's what got you out of sanitizing?
Yeah, so thank you, Gabe.
Oh, you're welcome.
You guys are walking around the show together all friendly and you took her job, and that's great.
So yeah, I started sanitizing and getting the cases into the lab. And
was it case entry or is it just cleaning them and
it's pretty much
labeling?
just cleaning and like making copies of RXs and stuff. Pretty soon after that, the CAD department was like, "Hey, we'll take you if you want to come over there." And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And so now I scan cases in, and I just now actually started learning how to design night guards.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm designing the night guards, getting help with that, and she is like, hey, this is wrong. And I'm like,
okay, I'm not telling you it's wrong. I'm just helping improving your night guard.
Yes.
You might want to consider.
And she's doing really good, too.
I'm doing it nicely. I'm trying not to be mean.
No.
But yeah.
Our other coworker actually comes over to me more. But
so you're scanning most of the cases coming in?
Yeah.
That is physical models.
Yes.
Okay.
And also,
you guys still get a lot of physical models?
We actually get quite a bit, though. I was shocked. Like, we get a lot of Crown and Bridge models that come through, like the impressions and everything.
That still blows my mind.
Yep.
Which is weird.
Jacksonville, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is most of the work local for you all, or is it?
I think
even know,
I think most of it's local, but we are trying to spread out. I think we might have some in like Georgia.
I think there's some in Alabama.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I didn't know we had people in Alabama. Go us.
Very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because we're definitely trying to expand the business and get our name out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
On top of that, I like the 3D printing.
Yeah.
So I do that on some days.
Which printers do you all have?
We actually use Carbon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we have a Carbon and an Envision Tech, but we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah. You don't need to. That's enough said. But the Carbons, I mean, you printing everything. You're talking about dentures. You all doing printed dentures?
Yeah. So we print quite a few dentures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Depending on the
design
case.
those?
No.
Why not?
So, because I'm learning it. I'm not quite there.
It's not hard.
I know it's not hard, but also I'm busy with my other job, with my other things that I'm doing in the office.
Yeah.
So we have a guy who does all of our digital dentures, and he's very, very good at what he does. So
Nice.
Yes, he is.
yeah,
Nice.
I trust him on it. So
Do you guys work close together? I mean,
We're like a room apart.
how big is the lab?
We wish it was bigger.
Not space-wise.
that's hysterical. But no, I want to say like we probably have like 42, a little bit more
really?
than that
Yeah.
employees. Yeah,
That's a
so
good
we're
size.
decently big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is this your first year at this show?
Yeah, this is my first time.
Yeah.
This is my first time too.
actually in a dental conference.
Yep. This is my
or
first
dental
one.
lab conference.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it?
I do like it.
Yeah, you have
You
fun?
learn a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice hearing like all the experts what they have to say on it.
Yep.
Especially like not having that background, being like, okay, like what can I take away from them with them being so successful,
I get that.
and that I can
Yep.
bring it into myself to be successful. And so it's cool to see that.
You need to ask Dory to send you to Chicago.
Okay, we're working on it.
Yes.
We're getting there.
Let's get it out there. It's being,
Come on,
it's,
Dory. Can you
it's
take us to
going
Chicago?
out in the airwaves right now. 2 more for Chicago, 2026.
Exactly. Yes, I vote that.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Dave,
thank you for
Savannah,
having
thank
us.
you so
Thank you
much.
for having us.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, this was great.
Welcome to the industry.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I mean,
Yeah,
sounds like you're killing it already. So
Yeah.
trying to.
yeah,
Working
awesome.
on it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a
Yeah,
good one.
thank you so much.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Wow, Blast from the Past just sat down.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da. FDLA 2025, Jensen Neo booth. Tom Zaleske.
Zaleske, but
Zaleske.
Zaleske will pass. if you-
Zaleske.
Just don't call me Tommy Boy.
Don't call you Tommy Boy.
No.
Are you a Thomas or are you a Tom?
No, I'm a Tom.
You're a Tom. I figured as much.
Yeah, I'm easy that way.
So Blast from the Past, I think, God, it was well within our first year.
Yes, it
You
was.
brought us Richard Wills and
Brian
Maurer.
Maurer.
What a great
correct.
episode back in those days.
Thanks. I thought so too. I brought in a small, a medium,
Yeah.
and 2 smalls and a medium.
Yeah.
And then, it was a good
Yeah.
conversation.
So what you been up to?
Same old, just doing it better,
Yeah.
I just continue to do as I've always done, and that is always kind of reaching for a higher bar.
Yep.
And that's with techniques and self-education and, all that stuff to make the things that was promised when we went to school.
Yeah.
You know?
So for those that maybe don't know who you are,
Yeah.
there's 3 of them out there. Where did you get your start? Where did you?
Yes. I worked in the secular world, we'll call it. I basically was a salesman.
Oh.
And I was affected by several recessions, and it was driving me nuts because I had great sales, and then all of a sudden they would tank. And I didn't like not being in charge.
When was this? Back.
This would be in the 80s,
In the
mid-80s.
80s, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I started in the late 70s, and I was doing that for about 8 years. But we were going through cycles,
Non-dental sales, right?
Yeah, no, I sold microelectronics, actually.
Oh, in the 80s?
Yeah.
What was a microelectronic in 80? Was it the size of a brick?
2x4 microprocessors. Like
Oh, wow.
yeah, like
And what did it
8K,
have? Like
4K.
Yeah.
We're talking like DOS.
Sure.
Generation.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I still had a phone, a brick phone in those days. It was an old time. But that industry was just stressing me out because I just could sell. But then if I would go to a place and they weren't buying because of a recession, I was limited.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a buddy who was a dentist. He'd say, I can go to lunch with you. You want to sit in the back and wait, and then we'll go to lunch because I was a salesman. I had free hours to go wherever I was. And I'd sit in the back of his place, and they built crowns in the back of his.
You already had people doing it.
No. He and his partner were actually, they were Willie Geller guys. I mean, they went to all the Vita courses back in those days and everything. And so they had the furnaces, the workbenches, they had all this stuff.
So after seeing patients, they would do their own crowns?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, they snap an impression, pour up the models, pin them, and do everything that you would do back in the day.
Wow, yeah.
So, I started picking up the wax, messing around a couple times. I was through there, and I said, I blew it. I should have been a dentist. I like this.
Yeah.
And he said, I think there's a school in the area that you might be able to become a lab technician rather than a dentist. And I said, oh. And he said, yeah. So I looked around. I went, in those days, this will date it for you. I went to the library. No kidding.
Yeah.
And
card
they
catalog.
had, they had a career center.
Yeah.
And I looked up dental technology, dental technicians, and found that I had Triton College, which was in River Grove, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
That was offering the course 20 minutes from my house.
So you're in Illinois. Yeah.
Well, I was at the time.
Yep.
So anyways, I went to a career night.
Career night.
Yeah, they had a career night there, like for people that were interested in it in an evening, and 150 people showed up.
For dental tech?
To become dental technicians.
Wow.
Right. So here I am. I'm in a room with guys like myself who were older and looking for career changes. I was there with 18-year-olds.
Out of high school,
Yeah, there was quite a mix. So anyways, I listened, and it was more and more intriguing. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to look into this further. Well, I did, and I continued to like what I saw. And so I was worried because I liked it that much, and there wasn't another courses available anyplace else but Triton College at the time. So I wrote a letter to Frank Lafredo, who at the time was the department head
of that school,
of that department at the Dental Technology for Triton. And I said, in my letter, I sent them a letter.
Yeah, which probably they don't get.
No.
Yeah.
And it basically just outlined that I was a guy looking to change careers, and I wasn't like those 18-year-olds that were still testing the waters for what they wanted to do, and that I'd really want to get into technology, the dental technology end, and own a business, and I would always do Triton College proud, is I think the way I kind of ended it.
So how many people were they accepting? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was 40 seats.
40 seats and 150 people showed up for those seats.
Yep.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, he returned my letter with a phone call. Said, I have a place for you if you're that interested. And I said, I am. So I gave notice, 6 months notice, because I work for my dad, and said, hey, in 6 months I'm going back to school. He said, oh, you'll fail.
Oh, jeez. Thanks, Dad.
I said, thanks for the motivation.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah,
for sure.
I get you. Yeah.
And so then that fall, I entered the program. Anyways, I did a semester, and then I did another, so I had a year under my belt. And I thought, I got a really good grasp of this. Now they want to know what I want to specialize in. I wanted to specialize in removable prosthetics because at the time the average age was 50 years old.
Even back then.
So then.
But back then, it was sexy to be a ceramist. It was
the white smocks and everything.
Yeah.
Willie Geller and white smocks.
And everybody was like, hey, you'll make more money if you do ceramic.
Everything. It was like, why, Zaleske, why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
You get wax under your fingernails and on the floor.
Dirty.
Yeah, it's dirty. And I said, because there won't be anybody to compete with. I mean, to be very honest with you, I was looking at a market demographic, I was like, this will work out good. In about 10 years, I'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah.
So, I finished up that first year, and then I went back to my friend, the dentist, and I said, hey, listen, I'll come in and I'll start making your copings, pin your models. I'll do everything that you would need to do up to the point where you put the porcelain on, and in exchange, you can allow me to come in and build my business in the back of your practice.
Oh.
And he said, Zaleske, you're in. So I worked.
So you did all his grunt work.
And then I would go home, have dinner, and then I would come back at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I'd be there till midnight doing work that I was starting to pick up along the way. It started one or two dentists that knew this dentist, and then it grew from there.
Did he do any removable work?
Yeah, not as much as you would think.
Yeah.
So, but at the time, those copings and stuff was 90% of my income. And then it slowly started to change over a period of time. Then I graduated, and in fact, I had my business running so well that I didn't even go to the commencement. I just, I was working. I was
just mail me the certificate.
No, I mean, I had the degree, and I had the education, and I knew what I was doing. So I was like, you know what? This is easy. I'm going to just continue.
That's awesome.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stayed there. So I built my business back there, and I stayed there 8 years.
8 years. You're in his little back room.
It was not a very little one. It was actually quite nice
Was
size.
it? Yeah.
Though I got spoiled because I started using ceramic tools to do my denture work. In other words, they had Cavo benches and micromotor handpieces, not lathes. And so I got to, I learned that if I didn't wax the stuff up to perfect contour, I had no way to grind, and I could see then and there.
Yeah.
So, one of the guys, his associates' brother owned a little laboratory in the back of the building where they had the kettles, with the hot water for processing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I stayed there for 8 years. In the meantime, while those 8 years were going on, every time a guy went out of business, I'd show up with 30 cents on the dollar for the equipment because I wanted to eventually build in my lab in the basement of my home.
So any lab you found out was going out of business?
I'd show up with money in hand.
And I bet you they took it.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. And it was old aqua-colored equipment that was from the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would take it, and then I would repaint it. And I would, I outfitted my entire house, built the lab with a friend of mine who graduated from the Triton College program, and built the lab in
your house?
Yeah, in the basement.
In the basement, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't produce traffic or smell or anything like that, so it really wasn't an issue,
And you're still in Illinois at this point?
No, so I was still, yes, I was still in Illinois at that point, correct.
Yeah.
So then, anyways, fast forward, just kept going, and then, interesting enough, I had an itch to write. And I wrote an article for Judy at the LMT.
LMT, yeah.
Yeah, and it was so well received that one of the manufacturers of the products that I talked about in the article contacted me and said, hey, Tom, would you be interested in talking about our products?
Oh.
And I knew Carl Rogers. He was with them at the time. He was instrumental in actually getting me on board with them.
What was this company?
This was Keystone Industries.
Oh, Keystone, yeah.
And they were developing the Diamond D acrylic at the time.
Interesting. Now,
So-
you've never spoken or anything at this point? You just...
No, never. No. They just asked would I do it, and I said, yeah.
You didn't have any, like,
No
maybe-
hesitation.
Really?
Nah, not really.
Good for you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I grew up in a family where, like, if you sat at the dinner table, you better have conversation. You know, my dad was, how was your day? And you better have an answer.
Yeah.
You know, he's a great guy, but we were very, you know, even my sisters and my brother to this day were all that way.
Yeah.
Because he raised us that way. So it really wasn't that scary. The only thing that I learned, if anything, is I read a book by a guy by the name of Robert Bly. And he said that what you do is when you're looking in an audience, you concentrate on 3 areas of the audience, the left, the center, and the right, and you pick out a person to look at.
Yeah.
So when I started speaking, I'd always look for a pretty girl in the audience in each one of those sections, and I would look at them, and then everybody around that person thinks you're looking at them. And that way I'm only focusing on 3 people in the whole room.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I always try to find the people that actually look like they're engaged.
Yeah.
Because you're the ones that are like half asleep, they'll take me down, so I try not to look at
I was
them.
going to say it'll suck the life out of you.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
somebody's
hard.
sleeping in your presentation. It's like, oh, man, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, the other part of that, though, Elvis, is that there is a skill set to being able to read the audience.
Oh, 100%.
And, you know, and shift gears. If you find that something you're doing is not grabbing attention and people aren't listening, that's why I've never done very well online.
Webinars? I won't do them.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a blank screen and I get no feedback.
I did one and I hated it.
Yeah, it's just...
Crack a joke and it's silent. And you're like, it doesn't work.
You have to have like a whole party going on inside your head for it to work, you know?
I can't do it.
No, so, you know.
So this Keystone said, hey, we want you speaking. We want you involved.
Yeah, they said, will you test our products? We'd like you. So, you know, I did things like I tried to do the stupidest things I could with the product to make it fail.
Yeah.
So that they could figure out how to make, you know, fine-tune it and everything.
Sure.
Then I started taking technical calls for them. Then I started to generate, everybody knows I like pictures. I take a lot of pictures of my work. I like to show what I can do. They asked me if I could produce some pictures for them and help them put together their bill of materials and help them put together dialogue.
Marketing and all that kind of.
Yeah, I was doing ad placements in the magazines for them too.
And all this, you're still running your own lab out of your basement.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was an awesome time. I really loved it because I love people and I like sharing stuff. And it was just.
And you were working by yourself.
Yeah.
So if any time you had an event, you have to communicate this well in advance. Your offices have to know. There's no one picking up your slack.
No.
You're going back and going right into the
I was just going to say, I'm not going to lie to you. There was, in the early years, man, there was times when I got back like at 7 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday, and I went right down to the lab and had to knock something out for, in 2 days.
Monday morning,
Yeah, it was, I mean, but, it is what it is. I mean, if you're, you can have a job or you can have a career.
100%.
And I've always felt that this was a career, not a job. So I had the motivation. It was always there, you know. So anyways, did that for 10 years with them.
Really?
Yep. And we launched a great product and supported it, and I helped them with some other things too there. And then Danny Boskasevic and I got together once.
GC, yeah. Love Danny.
It was over. Yeah, Dan's a great guy. Known him for years because I do all the shows, and of course, I like you and everybody else here at this show, you get to know people over those years.
100%, yeah.
So, we went to dinner one night, and he said, hey, would you like to come and do some stuff with us? And I said, absolutely.
So were you using their products before?
I was.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I was very interested in the microwave cure acrylics.
Yeah.
And they were really the first to have
Were
that.
they?
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
They had it for years under another name. I think it was Akron at the time. But I was interested in the speed of it, and I had read a lot of research that indicated that it had less monomer, and the flask arrangement with the screw downs all made them better fitting, and it was quick.
So did you do that? Microwave?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do microwave to this day.
Really?
You can do it with partial dentures.
That's crazy. How do you get a metal framework in a microwave?
Yeah, that's what everybody asks. Doesn't it arc?
Doesn't it spark?
No, it doesn't do any of that. Isn't that funny?
That is weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's encased in stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
But I ran some tests. In fact, I have pictures I posted online that people have probably seen. And I took a bar of wax and I put a dime in it. And then I flasked it up and then washed it out. And then cured clear microwave acrylic to see if there was any burning or anything around the diamond.
And nothing?
Around the dime. And no, there was none. And it was clear as crystal clear.
Crazy.
It was. So that was a no-brainer for me to do it that way.
So what is your lab? Like 6 microwaves all lined up?
No.
Ding, 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 ding.
Nope.
They all just
Nope.
go
One
off?
Samsung microwave, and then, of course, I still heat cure. You know, I do probably 70% super high impact materials,
With
and
like
then
a
microwave
Ivo
for the other
base or
stuff.
something? Or?
No, I use the GC Nature Curl super high impact material.
Yeah.
And I've been using it for years. I like the range of colors, and there's a lot of great qualities to that acrylic as well. You know, people used to say to me, well, what's wrong with Diamond D? And I said, well, nothing. You know, I mean, there are people that go to car shows and drive in 56 Chevys.
Yeah.
You know, that was always, well, you can't bad rap something that you've represented, but I was always interested in the color range that they had. I was always interested in the different form of cure, the microwave being the microwave. So it was a natural for me to go to something that was more challenging for me.
What makes you decide to go microwave or the other way?
Well, actually, time.
Really?
Time. If I can get the same results from a microwave-cured immediate denture as I can from a heat-cured one, and I know it's going to be a throwaway eventually,
microwave.
Why not make it the best I can for the throwaway, which would be the microwave way?
Yeah.
And then for partial dentures, it's just a no-brainer. If I got a 2-saddle partial, there's not a whole lot of acrylic there, and I'm doing a lot of work the other way. And a lot of time.
Quicker and easier.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about problem solving, right?
And I've always been a true believer, and the dentist really doesn't care how you make it.
You got to be able to stand behind it, though.
As long as you make it right, and it's good.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's this way, that way, or
I'm
anyway.
very upfront about how I do it. I put them in bags that are marked as such, and they know that the difference between a microwave cured and the other because I indicate it.
Have you ever had an office go like, microwave?
No, I've had
what?
people question it, and then I say, well, let's just do it. If you have a problem, I stand behind it, and I'll replace it for you.
That's so crazy. I mean, I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But
everybody.
It makes sense.
Well, they used to make fun of me. They would say, hey, Zaleske, you making TV dinners for us, too? You know, I get that kind of razz.
When your equipment goes down, you just go to Walmart and get another microwave?
Microwave oven, $60. Come on,
beat
are you
it.
kidding me?
You can't beat it.
And guess what? Hot water from a little kettle to wash out the mold. I don't even have to have a tank rolling. So remember, that keeps the temperature in my lab down. And I'm flameless, too, because I'm in my house. I don't want to have any flame in my house.
Sure, yeah.
So everything I have is flameless from the Renfort stuff that I use.
Is there still monomer in it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's still traditional.
Yeah, it's a tweaked monomer so that it doesn't run off and turn into porosity.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, so what am I doing today or what am I doing nowadays is that basically I'm reading old, you're going to love this. I read old texts and I get different things that are forgotten. And then I offer them. I do things like when a case comes to me and they only want to restore the upper arch and the lower semi-dentate. In other words, it's missing like posterior teeth.
Yeah.
I like to make an arrangement on there so I can set the upper to those teeth.
Yeah.
And I put it on a saddle. And then what I do is I tell the doctors, if you'd like, you can show the patient the benefit of having posterior teeth. And I can throw clasp on it, and I can microwave and make you just a provisional appliance so that they don't beat up the brand new upper denture.
But you charge for that, right?
Of course I do.
Yeah, okay.
Of course I do. I give them the option. But see, if a patient puts something in their mouth that they wear and they put in the try-in and they got something against their try-in and they've never had posterior teeth,
game changer.
It's an eye-opener.
Yeah.
They go, well, you know what? I like the fact that I have a nice solid bite, and I can warranty the product that way too, because if I make an upper denture and there's only 6 teeth on the lower, they're incising all over it and they have no posterior support. They're going to beat the hell out of it.
And you're going to kick it out every other day.
It's just not. It's It's just not good treatment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, the traditional thing is we're always chasing the picket fence, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Whereas, teeth are replaced out of sequence, so you get this up and down thing.
Yep.
So by kind of stabilizing it, by getting a nice opposing, it just really guarantees better success in the long run.
So are you still by yourself?
Absolutely.
Still in your house in the basement?
Absolutely.
Still in Illinois? Or?
No, now I'm in Indiana.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Crown Point, Indiana.
Yeah.
I got a divorce about 18, 19, almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
And the gal that I met lived in Indiana, and I said, well, I'd like to be close to my parents because they were still alive at the time. My dad was. And this way I could still go home. It was an hour and 25 minutes from home.
Yeah, Crown Point's right there next
and
to
it's country club living at trailer home prices because I'm in Indiana, brother.
Trust me, I live in Indiana. I know.
You know how it works. I mean, it's very inexpensive.
It is.
And if you compare it to like 20 miles away across the state line, there's a huge difference. In fact, we have nothing but Illinois plates in the area that I live in now.
Really?
I mean, people are moving there in droves.
Sure.
But, so, we got a house in a little place called Lakes of the Four Seasons that's out there. It's a gated community. And
you're in the basement again?
Yeah.
Lab's all set up?
Yeah.
Same equipment from the 60s?
Some. Yeah. No, I have a Trinco blaster, which is like a shell blaster.
Yeah.
It's like 1967.
Still works?
Yeah, you run air through a hose. It's got a little nozzle in the end. It pushes the... But and then I've got a dinosaur. I've got a co-press that I've had for 100 years. I can't part with it. It still works, but I use like that hydraulic press now.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Like a Mistra press is what I'm using now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Are you busy?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm as busy as I'd like to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always, when I have a doctor call me and they go, are you taking on new clients? I always say the same thing, the right client.
Yeah.
Can we work together? Here's what I'm going to expect. And, this is the kind of feedback we're going to have back and forth. If we can have a good relationship like that, I'm in.
Yeah.
But, and I've been successful in that regard,
Sure.
But, if a guy comes along and he's a good operator, I'd be a fool not to, say, I'll take you on.
Do you let them know that about 8 times a year you'll leave to go speak somewhere?
Yeah, well, I do tell them that I do have speaking, and for some it works in my favor because they like knowing that there's somebody that's doing their work, that is doing presentations. Yeah, kind of the wow factor, right? Yeah. As we know, that's nothing. It's just a guy up there talking.
You got suckered into talking.
No, I love talking, and
I
again,
know you do.
Yeah, no, it's
what do you talk about?
Well, like this show in particular, I'm limited. I've got an hour. Okay.
Yep.
So sometimes it takes me that long to introduce myself.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. But basically pearls, things that I do for my dentists that help keep my dentist happy, things that make the case, drive the case to a success.
Yep.
Like here, I'll give you one for instance.
Yeah, please.
So there's something called a Willis gauge. Most people don't even know it exists, and it's a gauge that measures the distance from the nose to the center of the eyes and from the chin to the bottom of the nose. And what that does is that...
I've seen one of those. They're on like a little slide, right?
They are.
Yeah.
And so what that does is if a dentist has that on hand and a patient's lost their vertical due to loss of teeth, what they can do is they can approximate the vertical.
The distance from the chin to the nose should be the same as from the nose to the eyebrow?
To the center of the eye. Yeah. So I make a recommendation like that, and I show that instrument and where they can buy it. And this helps get the rims and the try-in
in the proper
in a close,
Closer.
rather than kind of guesstimating.
Yeah, the eyeball.
Yeah. And then the other part of that is once they get to that point, then, of course, they decrease it a little bit because they want to make sure they have a freeway space.
Yep.
Because your teeth can't be touching. I'm talking to you now. Your teeth aren't touching.
Yeah.
They only touch when you're chewing.
Yep.
That's the way it should work.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons they don't use porcelain teeth anymore because nobody could seem to clinically get that freeway space, and so they get clackers.
Click,
yeah. So anyways, little gem right there. That's just a little pearl that I give out to people who come to the class.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do any fixed work?
No.
Yep.
I don't do any partials either, but I have a wonderful association with a partner lab that makes my chrome frames.
Yep.
And then I use Primotech if I'm going to do a wraparound bar.
Yep.
I'll send them the setups and everything's done, and then what they do is they'll send me a scan with the design underneath the wax up.
Yep.
Then I'll approve it, and then they'll go ahead and mill it for me.
So you do dip into the digital a little bit.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm into digital. I got a digital camera.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yes. I mean, I dip into that. I'd be a fool not to.
You have to.
Yeah, I'd be a fool not to. But, I mean, for day-to-day work, like, for removable prosthetics, nah.
Yeah.
It's just not there for me. I mean, if I told you how much it costs to make a denture, you'd laugh. I mean, it's only $10 worth of your materials.
Yeah. Teeth included.
Yeah, because you're making profit on the teeth.
Yeah.
You can't even really include that in the equation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but people go, well, I mean, I ask a very pressing question in most of my lectures, and that is, do you know how many dentures you can make from a pound of acrylic? And you'd be surprised how many blind stares I get.
I'm going to go with 40.
Good try. Want to try again?
Yeah, how many?
Well, 30 cc's is an ounce, 16 ounces to a pound.
So I can't do that math.
16
dentures
to a pound of acrylic.
To a pound of acrylic.
Yeah, 16 ounces, 30 cc's each.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or you could go out and buy a $180,000 printer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And a $300 bottle of resin and print dentures.
Yeah. Well, you know what they call that? They call that product seduction.
Oh.
Yeah, because they go, oh, wow, look, everybody else is doing it. I'm seduced.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I look at it and go, oh, wow, how much can I make?
Yeah.
I mean, it's dollars and cents to me. And I had a dentist once say to me, Tom, you nickel and dime me to death. And I said, I'm in a nickel and dime business. I am. Nickels and dimes make dollars.
Yep. It all adds up.
It does. And, any waste left, is profit lost.
Yeah.
So I just, I've done a few consulting gigs at larger laboratories, and if one of the things I come in and look at is waste of movement, waste of products,
material.
Yeah. And I mean, I can cite them pretty fast, and that's because my eye has been sharpened because it's so imperative as a one-man laboratory to maximize all of those.
Yeah, you can't get up and go to the other side of the room all day long.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
It's got to have good workflow.
Yep. And
I have to know exactly what the yield is on my materials, everything. I mean, I even know how much I can make on a bag of stone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is, but it's business.
It's important.
Yeah, like Mark Jackson used to say, and Mark Jackson, you've probably heard the history of Mark, and maybe you met him. I don't know.
I've met him, yeah.
Yeah, and his favorite thing was, before you start making business decisions in your lab, take off your coat, take off your lab coat. And that's true because, most people back when I got into it treated it like more of a hobby than a business.
Sure.
And I think to some extent, even so today.
Yeah.
I mean, people go, oh, I'm making a lot of money. I'm working all kinds of hours and everything. But I think if you crunch the numbers and you look to see how many hours a day versus what they're making, they might be sadly disappointed to know they're not making as much as they think. They're making a lot of money, but are they netting a lot of money based on the amount of hours?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not really.
It's a life balance you got to find.
Yeah, and extremely so in this business because everything is so time sensitive.
Yeah.
And time is money to a lot of guys, and so if they can crank out more widgets per hour, then in their mind they're making more money. But I always think about the patient because remember, I was in a dental lab office, and so I'm patient-centered. I think about the patient. I think every patient like I would be a family member, really.
Yep. You can't just
no.
consider them whatever you're making. There's a body behind it.
Yeah, there absolutely is. There's a set of eyeballs. And, that's the other thing, too, to be able to connect with the doctor, because I understand when I talk to a doctor on the phone, you got two eyeballs looking at you. I only got an articulator in front of me. And so I'm compassionate to that point. I understand that, there's more to it for him than there is for me.
Yep.
And so when I make a suggestion, I try to make suggestions that ease that for them,
100%.
Yeah, so they're not stressing the patient out and they're not stressing themselves out. And I'll tell you a good one, and that's immediate dentures. I always tell doctors that I work with, immediate dentures are a very tough delivery, especially if there's a lot of teeth being extracted.
Yeah.
So don't promise the world and quote it as a temporary appliance and that you're going to make it definitive later. So in the treatment plan, have a temporary and then have it definitive. Yeah, because if you do it that way, if you try to say that's it, that's going to be your definitive appliance.
So many want to and try, and I think it's insurance reasons or whatever.
It is probably.
But you gotta give the option.
You do, and
that temp is never good enough.
It never is. And as good as a lot of guys are, it's just very, very tough to hit because you don't know about extractions, and you can make it you can make it super sloppy, or it can be too tight, and it's just very difficult. So, yeah, by just suggesting, hey, if the patient's open to it, we make this a temporary, and then we move on and we make it definitive at a later date when they recover financially too. I mean, patients have to recover financially.
I get it.
So,
it's not cheap.
Because there's surgeries involved and all that other good stuff that is left out of the equation.
Yeah.
But my big thing right now is, and maybe we'll end with that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, we got to do something. This profession has a real problem because we have commingled fees, and it's being distributed by the dentist to the lab, and so it's up to the dentist to decide what our worth is. And it's really drives me crazy because I think that the patient should pay a lab fee and they should pay a clinical fee, because
we've talked about this on the podcast before.
even with the insurance, and the insurance companies love it because it's commingled. They don't have to think about anything. They just send it to the doctor and say distribute it.
I mean, you go to a doctor, you go to a hospital, and you get 6 different bills.
How about it, man? I mean, the surgeon's not saying, okay, radiologist, here's yours, and here's the prosthetic. Say the guy needs a prosthetic. Here's for the prosthetic. They're not doing that.
No.
It should be individualized. And I have some doctors that are very savvy to that because it doesn't hinder their performance then. And what they do is they have the patient pay the lab bill separate.
A check directly to you?
No, they pay for the lab and they pay for the clinical.
Yeah.
And I mean, so when they quote the treatment plan, they quote the lab part and they quote the clinical part.
Yeah.
That's sane.
It makes sense, but I worry that the general society will always be like,
yeah, I know. Price hunting?
Yeah, it's like, I have an option. I'm going to go ahead and look for that $40 crown.
But then you won't have people coming back going, oh, my last dentist really did a job.
Yeah, well, you chose the $40 crown.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you leave the option to them. And those who have had bad experiences will understand that they'll get what they pay for.
Oh, you would hope.
Well, you would hope. I mean, there's always those guys. That's the other thing that guys that do good work always are fighting, is that there's so many promises out there that I'm really good. And then when they get the work and it comes back to the doctor, they're disappointed, and it poisons the well for a guy who really might be talented.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, too, to break.
But wouldn't this open up to labs having to get into the insurance game? And we're all going to have insurance coordinators to figure all that out.
Yes. I don't see a problem with that. I'll tell you what it also will do. We're always crying about, everybody needs to be educated and certified and all this stuff. Well, guess what? That would come into play. I've always had a problem with certification only because it doesn't equate to more dollars. Oh, yeah, if you work for somebody, he's going to give you $3 more an hour.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really equate to a professional standard type of income that you would get.
Sure.
Okay? So that's always been like I always said, they got regulation with haircuts, but Bowrick is still around. Bowricks, and you can get yourself a $12 haircut,
Yeah.
So what did regulation really do for a haircut?
Yeah.
It didn't do anything except put money in the pockets of people who are, regulating.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. See how long-winded I am?
Tom Zaleske, I remember having to cut your episode down.
Yes. In fact, I remember listening to it and saying, what happened to half of that? Well, I'm glad that we ran into each other in the hallway and that you wrangled me over here, which didn't take much.
No.
And we had a nice conversation.
No, I appreciate you, Tom.
Yeah, I'd appreciate you too very much.
Thank you so much.
You do a lot for the industry. You open the eyes of some people. You bring some good content. And people need to see more about what their fellow technicians are doing.
It's what it's all about. Everyone's got a story, and
it's a groovy thing. And the other part is you're easy to talk to. I mean, you have a good demeanor about you. You sit there, you ask nice questions, you listen, and then you ask cogent, other things cogently. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up here. Beep. As you would do if Barbara was on here.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks a lot for the opportunity to tell you all about what's going on.
Good luck on your presentation.
Thank you very much.
All right,
I appreciate
thanks, man.
Have a good one.
So excited to have good buddy Josh.
That's the one.
Josh Williams. It's funny. I mentioned you on the podcast a couple weeks ago about the great keychain things you made, and I actually called you Josh Williamson.
That's what my name was on Facebook when I put it in initially, and totally messed that up. I am the worst. I don't social media. I don't do any of that until I started promoting for work. So I was like, I don't know if I really want everybody knowing me. And now I wish
Luckily-
I would have just left it as Williamson so I could be anonymous at these places.
Well, the nice thing is I was able to edit the sun out.
All right, there you go.
Josh with GPS Digital
RPD.
RPD.
That's the one.
So we had you on quite a while ago.
It's been over a year for sure.
Over a
It's
year,
been a while.
yeah.
I think we only had a couple printers at the time. I think we only had 4, maybe 5.
I love
We're
it
up to
that-
6 now, so
Yeah, that's a couple, 4.
it's a couple.
So tell us, well, wait a minute. FDLA 2025, the Jensen Dental booth. Josh Williams. I have to stop myself. I don't know. So tell us what's going on. I mean, you came on and you were just getting into this printed metal partial business.
Yep, just starting.
I remember you talking a lot about how finicky the machines were.
They're still finicky.
Yeah, okay.
So we have 4 of the smaller platform machines that we dialed them in. It's a lot of learning when you jump in and you think it's just going to be plug and play. It's
so 4 of the
absolutely not.
smaller platform. What does that mean? You're doing so many at a time.
Exactly. So there's actually 4 machines, and the smaller ones are just a smaller round build plate.
Yep.
So it's 110 millimeter round. Our bigger platform now is 150 millimeters square. So we have 2 of the bigger platforms. So we can get about 25 frames on those, whereas the others you can only get about 8.
Oh, really?
So
interesting.
Yep. And we're running pretty steady. I mean, we're doing between 100 and 125 a day consistently.
No kidding.
We got some high days, and we really wish we'd see more low days, but it's very.
But these are all other labs.
We only work with labs,
and they're all sending in their designs. Or are you doing the designs, or what's that? What's that percentage like?
It's about a 70-30. So 70% we are designing. So we do in-house design. We have 3 designers now. Kicked me out of my office, and now my office is a closet because we have an entire design room.
Yeah.
So
do you even need an office? I mean, aren't you just working those machines? Every time I see you online, you got flaming boxes and.
That was a fun one, and that was very hot.
I am surprised you still have hair at all.
It's growing back.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, you got to have a good novelty video. We don't do that every time,
Sure.
but I kept looking at it. I said, I think if I put 2 gloves on, it'll be all right. It's still pretty hot. That thing is almost 2,000 degrees coming out of that oven, and it is hot.
So this is a good time to explain that it's not just print metal and you're done.
No, there's a lot to it.
That's so insane to me. So walk me through that process.
Yeah, so obviously the design side of things is just like anything else. If you were print to cast or anything, all of that, you put out an STL, same as a standard process.
What are you doing them in, 3-shape, exocad?
I do 3-shape.
Okay.
Started with 3-shape. I don't technology well, so once I dialed in 3-shape, I said I'm just sticking with this, even if it's not the greatest.
How does it work? They send you a scan or a model.
Yep.
You digitize whatever.
Exactly.
You design it on there. Do you send it back to that lab for them to okay it, or?
We have the option. So some labs that are comfortable with us just say, we like your designs, go with it. But on our portal, how they send in, you have to choose yes or no. Do I want a design preview, or do I trust you? And it just goes like that.
What do you usually get? Specific instructions or upper?
50-50.
Really?
Some people will draw on the models. They've got, so you scan and you've got that to design right off of. There's still a lot of people that just say, I need a frame.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even give you upper or lower, and it's up to you to decide. We're missing teeth on both arch, guys. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's really sad that labs can be just as bad as offices.
We're working with what they've got, and frames are not a very common thing for most labs. That's why we're really thriving. Is a lot of people are outsourcing to overseas and things like that, and you're just getting really, inconsistent qualities. And so that's why we really...
Are more people asking for approvals, or they're like, let's just go?
It's about 50-50, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of the labs that we work with are larger accounts, generally draw on the model and just trust that, we're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of gone that route. Some of the newer guys, they kind of warm up to us.
Yep. They want to see it, make sure you know what you're doing.
Exactly. Let's see how you guys do this. And I don't mind either one. It's all the same to me. If you trust us, we're going to do it. It's going to be what it's supposed to be.
Do you do any of the design?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do a lot of design.
Do you do a lot of them?
I do. I not as much as I used to. I've got a lot more going on now, so I try to stay out of it as much as possible. But sometimes the laptop's coming home and I'm doing some designs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. After little one goes to bed, 9 o'clock, it's I put an hour or 2 in and get
knock
it done.
out some frames.
Yep.
So you send those STLs to the printer.
Yep. So you nest them first. We use Octane or OcCam now. It's changed names.
Oh, yeah, we had them on, yeah.
So we use OcCam. It's amazing. I cannot say better things about it. It takes your nesting time from 20, 30 minutes to nest 25 frames on there to about 8 minutes of hands-on time. So it processes in the background. You can continue doing what you're doing.
There's like an AI version,
Yes.
then you still have to tweak it?
Generally not.
Really?
It learns as you go. So at this point, we've done so many, it's dialed. I mean, we don't touch much of anything. Maybe add a support here or there, remove something on, attachment cases. It'll put a support in an area you don't want.
Yeah.
So you kind of move stuff like that. But other than that,
But these supports, I mean, they're obviously metal. I mean, it's not just like break off with your finger.
Surprisingly, it's pretty easy. They do kind of break off with your finger.
No kidding.
The problem is it's like a cluster of them. So if you have a couple that you can break off, it's nice. But sometimes there's just a cluster. I mean, it's a little stronger than being able to push off. We just use hand clippers. They just clip right off.
Really?
Yep, they clip
I
right
thought
off.
you had to use like a saw.
Well, I use a Sawzall to cut them off the plate initially. So we have they go on a plate. You Sawzall the entire group off after it comes out of the annealing oven.
And then you just
hand
clip.
Yep.
Wow.
Takes about 15 minutes per plate, and you just roll through them.
How long is the printing process?
So we run a day batch that's a little smaller. It's dependent on height, much like resin printing.
Yeah.
So the shorter builds are going to be quicker. We print in about 5 to 6 hours during the day, and we get about 15 frames off each build on those on our large platform.
Yep.
And at night we're running up to 25 on those.
Oh, wow.
And that's
on
about
each machine?
On each machine.
Wow.
Yep. So we're seeing those at about 8 to 10 hour prints.
When they're nested, are they upright?
About a 45-degree angle.
Okay, so kind of like a denture.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. You want a little support because if you stand it straight up, you can get distortion. Your supports can't directly touch.
Yep.
They're kind of coming up and coming over like a tree-style support.
Yep.
But a little bit of an angle really helps.
Okay, so they come out of the printer. You bandsaw them off with a very well safety. We've seen your video.
We think about safety every once in a while. It's
clip off all the supports, and then what?
Well, first, before you clip them off, they do go in the annealing oven. You have to relieve.
Oh, they go in there with the things?
The entire plate goes in because you're getting it so hot. If you don't have that plate with the supports down on there, they can distort. You're relieving a lot of stresses from the rapid heating and cooling of the printing process.
So what's the annealing process?
Throw it in a really hot oven for 30 minutes. So that's
it.
1,800 degrees. It goes in. It sits at that temperature. You pull them out. You don't directly pull them out. You let them cool a little bit down to 600 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
And then you pull the box out and let it cool on a bench.
So
about 45 minutes
you have to
of cool
go
time.
up and down with the temperature.
Yep.
How many of those do you have?
We have 2 ovens.
Okay.
But the plates, you can get 2 plates in each oven.
Okay. So, you bring it up, you bring it down, you cool it, then what?
Then you cut them off,
then you
and
clip
then
them.
it's clipping time. You go from there, you do a basic finish on them. You're just removing supports, basically. So you're smoothing a few things out, maybe tapering a few clasps, things that you have to kind of design for the printer to be able to print, but that's not necessarily what you want the end product to be.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
So you taper your clasp, you make them pretty. You do a little bit of work, and then we have automated polishing machines.
Yep.
So they just go through our automated polishing machines.
What is that? What is that?
So I use a tumbler-style tumbler. It's basically a stone media, ceramic and stone. It tumbles in there for about 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Comes out of there, and we run it through the D-light. So the D-light gives it the shine.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and we only do the tumbler because we're saving money on the media of the D-light.
Oh,
so the D-light is amazing. It works great. The media is not cheap. It's a good product, and they charge good money to use that product. So
that tumbler kind of does like a rough polish,
exactly.
and then the D-light does the finer polish.
Yep, it's just smoothing down the sharp edges, and the D-light is mostly just polishing rather than doing any of the smoothing or finishing side of it.
Have you tried it on a model yet at this point?
I've put a lot of things in that tumbler. I've had those tumblers for a long time.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, before you polish, do you try it on a model?
Oh, yes, absolutely. They are fit before they go in any of those machines.
Interesting.
Yep, you've got to make sure it fits because every once in a while you do have a misprint or you do have something that warped. Or
you don't want to go through all that process.
Exactly.
But you can't do it before annealing, so it's after annealing.
After annealing.
You try it. If it's good to go, then you polish.
Absolutely.
Then you try it again?
Absolutely.
Does the polish change any shape or fit?
It can. The tumbler, I mean, it's kind of... It's an abrasive process. You're rolling around with a bunch of rocks in a box. It's
seriously just like rolling.
It's a barrel filled with rocks, and then you throw your frames in there.
Does it not bend clasp?
So we've kind of overcome that by putting little supports on clasps that we think potentially could bend. So they have additional support just on those. So after it comes out of that, after the polish unit, the last little step before they're actually hand polishing.
Oh, that's smart.
They clip off those little extra supports.
So those little thinner clasps that you think a rock's going to push
exactly.
and move. Interesting.
Nope. Keep it in there because we don't want to have to touch it any more than we have to. So it's much easier to clip a 1 millimeter support off of something than it is to rebend a clasp or reprint a frame because it broke off, got caught on something.
Comes out of the D-light.
And then it is check it again, high shine. We still hand polish them. We actually hand polish after that.
With like a hand piece?
No, it's a high-speed lathe. We use Demco lathes. It's very high speed. They're a little dangerous. They're got some scars on the finger. Early years it caught and spun around and tried to take a tip off. But it's still the old school process though. They're still hand polished and then QC'd and out the door.
And what's that whole process?
So we use a rubber wheel. It's embedded with sand basically. It's aluminum oxide embedded in rubber. It really doesn't take much, but it gives it that really brilliant shine that you're used to seeing from a casted lab. So you're getting any kind of print lines or anything like that out of there. It cleans all of that up, and then you felt wheel with a polish it through there, and then they are ready to go.
Nice.
Yep, off to QC.
And from the time somebody sends you a scan to when they get that frame back, what is that?
So our standard is 5 days. You send it in before 11 a.m., and on Monday, it's leaving Friday afternoon.
Wow.
We have a relatively cheap rush fee, so we do it in 3 days for $25 extra.
That's it?
So, yep.
Wow. A lot of people take advantage of that?
A lot of people take advantage of that.
I bet they do.
For the first 2 years, we didn't charge for rush fees, and everybody wanted it in 3 days. We said, okay, we got to do something.
Seriously.
This is getting a little too busy to be able to knock these out in 3 days on 100 frames. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yep. So, I would say 30% actually run that. I mean, it's a lot of people that still do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feedback from labs. Obviously, you're hitting it out of the park because you're just growing, right?
We are growing faster than we could have ever expected. Apparently, everybody needs a lab to make a frame because a $300,000 printer is not ideal for a person doing 5 frames a week.
Those things are $300,000.
They're $300,000.
Oh, my God. How much metal powder do you buy?
So it's about 50 kilos a month.
Wow.
Yeah, so over 100 pounds of metal.
How does it come to you?
It's just a little plastic jug. They come in 5 kilos.
I don't know why I pictured like a rice bag. You know what I mean?
No,
like
it's got to stay dry. It's sealed. It's got a little desiccant pack in there to keep everything dry.
Yeah.
And even then beyond that, we dry our metal. We're in Florida. We are in a swamp. We're lucky to keep it below 30% humidity inside.
Oh,
we have
what do you do?
dehumidifiers and everything.
Oh, really?
Yep. That is very temperamental with humidity.
You didn't have to think about that, I bet.
It's Florida.
Wow.
It's sticky outside. It's sticky inside.
Yeah.
And that metal powder is so fine. It's 0 to 16 micron.
That's tiny.
That's very tiny. It floats. I mean, it is. So that's why the metal handling portion of it is dangerous. Respirators, PAPR style. Yeah, so we actually have little pumps and goes through a mask. So it's.
Oh, you hazmat suit that up almost.
So it's just your lungs that you're worried about. It's not reactive to your hands, and they always say you can eat the powder, but you can't breathe the powder. So it's safe for your mouth.
Who says that?
Probably, mostly me. It was one of our guys came in, a metal rep, and he said that. I said, I am taking that.
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
That's funny.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep. So
wow.
It's pretty good, but it's grown a lot.
Yeah.
It really has.
You looking for more? I mean,
more work or more techs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a battle.
Yeah.
I've evolved to not try to find a tech. I find a reliable friend because I can train someone to do it. I just need someone that shows up every day and is willing to work.
Well, welcome to the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are you looking for? Designers? You're looking for people to run the machines?
Right now, we just hired a guy last week, so we are good for
a hot minute.
3 weeks or so. Every time we hire someone, we think we're good, and it's about every 6 months we bring on another tech now.
Really?
So we're at 10 people now. We automated a lot of things, and we used to process and do the acrylic portion, acrylic and teeth in our side. We've grown to the point where we had to kind of send that back over to the main lab. It's next door. We just couldn't fit all our metal printers in there. So we lost total number of techs. But we just, we're back to 10 people again, but we're only doing metal in my lab.
Only doing the metal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how do people send you stuff? How does that work?
It's online portal. It's really easy.
Yeah.
It's set up like a Shopify account. You don't actually get billed through it, but you just go through, you pick your products, you see prices of everything. We don't hide anything like that. Nobody's getting a special price.
What's your frame?
$99.
$99,
and that's me designing it, hand polished, and on a dupe model.
Is it cheaper if the lab designs it?
$10 cheaper. $89 if they're going to send me a design. Yep.
Wow. And what's the website?
GPSDigitalRPD.com.
GPSDigitalRPD.com.
That's the one. I also bought GPSRPD.com. I bought GPSDigital.com because many people were getting confused. And so I said, I just buy all the domains around it. So that way.
And they all direct to the same place.
Yep. It goes to the same site.
That's awesome.
Yep.
It's awesome. And then you make these wonderful little things for us.
Oh, yes.
So last year you did a keychain.
Nope.
This year, you knocked it out of the park, dude.
Those are pretty cool, aren't they?
These little dentures with our logo in it. Is this somebody's denture that you used a file of?
It absolutely is. It was the easiest, and you just scale it down. And
I mean, you scaled it down.
You should see the ones. I'll bring the small ones over for you. I messed up the first batch of 40, and they were very tiny.
Really?
So that's what I said. These are perfect earrings.
I remember that.
2.1 grams. They are so light and so tiny. But you can still read. It's so accurate that you can
I
still
was
read.
surprised how well our logo turned out on this.
And those are just run through the machine. Those are no hand touching at all. That's what it looks like, as if we were just to run through the polish units and not
So these got rock tumbled?
Yes. And
Dye-light?
Yep.
And this is how it is? And
that is it.
Why is our logo, why is the words black? Is that painted or anything?
Nope, that's just the void. That's just not
like
shiny.
The polish couldn't get to it, but
Exactly.
It worked out really nice.
It looks great.
And some person out there with a denture has no idea that their denture has become.
I have one that's 300 times or 300% bigger than normal over there. That's also that same denture. So someone's mouth is very famous, and they have no idea. No idea.
That's great.
Well,
Josh, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, not a problem.
We appreciate your support. We appreciate you being a friend of the podcast, and just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey,
you're offering a service.
I love it. I push as many people over here as possible because I love the show.
Thank you, man.
It's a community.
I appreciate you.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, have a good one.
A huge thanks to Savannah, Gabriel, Tom, and Josh, who stopped by and talked to me at the Jensen Dental booth at the FDLA Expo. It's great to hear from young technicians that have a passion for the industry, and we know that Savannah and Gabriel will be doing even more things in the lab in the years to come. It's also great to hear from Tom and his perspective on everything.
For sure.
You might not agree with everything he says, but you have to admit that it's been working pretty well for him. And a special thanks to Josh for making the killer denture keychains this year and providing a great source for labs to get metal frameworks. Did you ever get a keychain?
I don't think so, no.
Oh my God, you're the one that doesn't have one.
Are they the bomb?
They're pretty great.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to make that a special mission.
I'm not a keychain person. Kind of hate them. It's the only one I've ever used.
Sweet.
Well, all right, everybody. That's all we got for you. And of course, we will talk to you next week.
Eat some barbecue and drink some beer and have a great day. See ya.
Bye.
Having some coffee, chilling out, gonna go for a run. Regular Saturday.
Same. The views and opinions expressed on the Voices from the Bench podcast are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the host or Voices from the Bench, LLC.